I had a video recorded for today, but unfortunately, I realised that I'd recorded it all without sound. So today it's going to be a little different to what I was hoping it would be today, which was going to be the first games in Serie B. It's not the first games in Serie B, but I hope you'll see that we've had a good start anyway, and hopefully we can still make this a really good, memorable start to Serie B. Fingers crossed. So, as you can see, we actually lost our first game in Serie B, which was going to be the first game of today's video. We won the second and third, though. We've had a couple of good games here. The third game in particular, we played particularly well. A really good performance there by pretty much everyone involved, and it was really good to see. So we've got a couple of big games today. In some ways, I'm quite glad that we've playing these two teams instead, because they're two bigger teams. We've got Vicenza and Parma, both of whom have been Serie A names in the past. I probably will do Palermo as well. I think we'll make this a 3-game special to make up for the fact that we missed the beginning of the season. So we're going to have Vicenza, Parma, we're going to skip the Frosinone game, and we're going to play Palermo as well. So we're going to have a 3-game bonanza, finishing with the football derby on the 25th of September. So I'll be back with you on the 11th. It's actually tomorrow, so it won't be long at all. The title of this video was meant to be, Can You Believe It? I think I might change it to The Cursed Video, because I have had a bit of a mare here, to be honest. I did actually record, well, I thought I recorded, I certainly commentated on the Vicenza game, and then I just clicked record off at the end of the video and realised that I hadn't clicked on, so I was starting to record after I'd finished recording the video. It was a shame, because it was quite an exciting game, actually. It looked like we were cruising, then they got an equaliser in the 91st minute, and we had about 2 or 3 minutes of constant pressure from Vicenza, and nearly conceded 3 times, but held on at the end, and we have done really well. So Adamo Musa made his debut, new loan signing from Regina. A bit of a left-sided roller, really. Can dribble, can't cross, so he's going to be playing very much as an inside forward. Right, so today against Parma, this is clearly going to be the toughest game of the season so far. After a really, really good start that we've seen us sitting in 4th in a brand new league, I think today is going to be one of the toughest tests we're going to have in this league, probably the toughest test, Parma away. So we clearly need to be less positive, because that is going to be a little bit more of a problem. Going to have much shorter passing, because my scouts clearly think that's going to be helpful. Massetti apparently is not entirely fit, but I've also been told that he would be a very good player to have in this game because of his heading. And he is one of the stronger headers, along with Fredella, in this squad. So I am going to try and play him today. Deli Carey is going to play at left back. Roller, I think, can come in today. I didn't play him in the last game, but I kind of regretted it, so I think I'm going to give him a game today. Other than that, I think I'm happy with this team. I think the only question is whether we go with someone else instead of Burger King. I think I'll go with Shoes Off instead of Burger King. And that will mean that Castellucci can play on the left-hand side and Shoes Off plays up front. So hopefully today can be a very big day, a day when we beat a team that is one of the favourites, if not the favourite, for this league title. I will just have a quick look at the official, whether that's officially true, in terms of who is the favourite for the title this year. I assume it probably is Parma. They're on pretty good form, as you can see, but we're on pretty good form as well. We've won 3 in a row after losing on the first day of the season. Let's just have a quick look at the favourites. Parma are indeed by some distance the favourites this season, more than half the odds, well, less than half the odds of Salernitana, who also got relegated with them, and Venezia as well. But if you look through some of the teams that we've already beaten this season, we have played, I think we played Venezia, have we? No, Vicenza, sorry. Virtus Entella and Sud Tirol. So Virtus Entella and Sud Tirol not doing brilliantly, but Vicenza 11th, and we beat them not easily, but we were by far the dominant team in that game. So I think we can be fairly confident that this is going to be a decent season. I certainly don't feel that this is a team that should get relegated after the start that we've made to this season. Having said that, we've now got Odegaard, presumably Martin's estranged cousin, who has put Parma in the lead very, very quickly in this game. Can we come back into it? Shoes Off makes a great run, but it's saved by the keeper. Real takes the corner, but nothing comes of it. Passing around as usual in the defence. It's good to see that we can still do that against the stronger teams. I was actually told by my scouts that that's the kind of game that will be useful against Parma. So certainly haven't changed any of my instructions as far as that's concerned. I've want to walk the ball into the box, play it out of defence, pass short, and try and play around them. That's been our system for a long time now, and I think it is more likely to work because we're used to it. Don't really want to see us chucking the ball forward, because that's how we lose the ball, and that's how we cede possession and end up conceding goals. Parma clearly a little bit more direct, trying to play it a bit longer, but they are looking very threatening, certainly. Lukaku, Odegaard. Looks like this is a team of kind of misfits. Jordan Lukaku is actually his brother, isn't it? We've got Mohamed El-Neni playing for them. Interesting one. Saves only this season really that we've started to play against players I've actually heard of. Being an Arsenal fan, Mohamed El-Neni is certainly someone I've heard of. Pretty certain he's the first ex-Arsenal player we've played against. Lukaku to Odegaard, and good save by Perizan. They are certainly better the sides here. We can't claim that we've been... I was going to say we can't claim that we've been unlucky. That's exactly what I've said to them. I mean, I think we've been unlucky in that we're playing against a team that is clearly superior to us, and that makes us unlucky in some ways. And we will not be playing teams this good every single week. But I'd like to see us make something out of this and just make a couple of chances. Even if we do end up losing it 2 or 3-1, I'd like to see a goal. It'd be really nice to show that we can hold our own against this team. And the fact that we're not getting thrashed is a start. You know, we've only conceded, I think, was it 0.7 XG at this point? A little bit more than we've got, but not much. So we've certainly shown that we can hold our own against them. Shoes off there. It'd be awesome if we could get something out of the game. Riella can't quite find someone on the corner. Riella to shoes off. Benedetti. Castellucci shoots and over the bar. Right. Roller is struggling a bit, so we're going to bring on... I think we might go with Delfini. I haven't really played him much yet. The youngster from, I think it's Milan. And Rosa saved by Perizan. Good save from him. But Dix makes it 2-0. And I suppose that's been coming to some extent. I thought we'd been getting back into the game a little bit, but didn't quite manage to kind of bring that off. Let me just check. Delfini has come from Milan. Milan youngster. And this game is probably all over now, I fear. Going to give Riella a rest with that in mind. Riella's starting to become one of my more dependable players, actually, and I think we've just conceded a penalty there for Adela, going very, very hard on Rosa. It did look like a penalty, to be honest. Rosa shoots, Rosa scores, and we've ended up losing this really quite heavily. I think this is unlucky to be losing like this much. We're clearly, they were clearly the better team, but I think a 3-goal margin seems a little harsh. I don't think we've been that bad. It's now 4 goals. Right, Benedetti, I could now rest because clearly we're not going to be coming back into this game. So yeah, whilst it's disappointing, I don't think we are deserving of quite such a heavy defeat. It did look like we were in the game for a significant part of this. And whilst I never really thought we'd get anything out of it, it would have been one of those where if we had got something out of it, you'd have thought, well, it's lucky, but we stuck with it and we deserved it. But in the end, we slightly capitulated there in the last quarter of the game, and we've been absolutely battered. Let's face it. They didn't like being told that they gave it their best. Okay, maybe they didn't. Right. Well, I think it's still a good start to the season. We've had 5 games, 3 wins. Given that we've just been promoted, that's a very, very good start. And we lost as well to probably the best team in the league, I imagine. Can't imagine anyone's going to get close to them this year. The way that they played in the second half there does show you that they have some serious quality. When you think this is a team that has, we narrowly lost our first game and then won 3 in a row. This is not a bad team we've got here. And I would expect the games against Frosinone and Palermo to be not straightforward, but games that we should be winning, I think. We will be back for the Palermo game, for the football derby. I'm going to play the Frosinone game off camera, but we will come back and play Palermo, the renewal of that rivalry. We haven't played them in a few years now. 3 years ago we last played them, 3.5 years in fact. So it's going to be nice to renew acquaintances with our local rivals. And I will be back on the 25th of September in 1 week's time, and I'll see you then. Bye for now. Right, and here we are with the first ever football derby in Serie B. Palermo against Zafferano. It may also be the first televised game. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think most games are televised in Serie B because I think all of our games have been so far. I don't remember having a televised game against Palermo in Serie C. I did have some televised games, but I don't think any of them were against Palermo. So the football derby develops on telly now. Michele Reri came in for the last game and got a brace. So I'm really pleased with that. He's not going to play today, partly because he's tired, but also partly because I don't think he's necessarily the best option for today. I'm going to be playing Shoes Off up front instead. Other than that, I think I'm going to go with the same side. The only question is whether I go with Rolla instead of Castellucci. I think I will do that. So Rolla comes back into the side after missing a game in the last game. I've also been told that Spampato's ability to win the ball back is going to be useful against Palermo. I'm trying to pay a bit more attention to that kind of data. So he is going to come in for this one alongside Massetti, who's had a couple of slightly disappointing games so far, but we will see. So this is happening at La Favorita, Renzo Barbera. At Palermo, Thomas Shiro, former Zafferano player, playing for them. I think he's the only one, as far as I can see he is. And we're going to need a really big performance here to beat this team, our big rivals. Wow, huge stadium they've got. I suppose that makes sense. Bit of a fallen giant, Palermo, of course. And we're off. Let's see if we can get another 3 points here that would really make us look like starting to become promotion candidates, at least, which would be quite impressive in our first season at this higher level. If we can get into Serie A on a consecutive promotion, I'll be amazed. I don't necessarily think it would be a good idea. I think having at least one more year in Serie B probably would be helpful for us. But we will see how it goes. Obviously, you wouldn't say no to it. Money alone would be helpful, even if it did mean we got straight relegated again. I think getting back up the next year would be easier. Jurgens takes the ball out the outside, and Perizan makes the save. It's looked pretty solid so far this season, Perizan. Interestingly, Palermo wear the same kit that my school used to. Virtually exactly the same. Black and pink. Sure you can imagine teenage boys, we loved that. Hasn't been the most interesting game so far. They've had a couple of chances. We haven't even had a single shot yet. But even their chances have been mostly half chances. Gioldi now takes it away and we still can't create anything. It's been a really disappointing half, and it ends, to be honest, fair enough with a Palermo goal. It would be a disappointing defeat. This is a game that we ought to be winning. But at the moment, we absolutely deserve to be losing it. Now, this worked in the last game. We were 1-0 down at half-time, we were awful, and it's worked again today. Good. Silly tackle that by Rolla, unnecessary. Colucci throws it in, but comes to nothing. And Palermo are playing it around us with relative ease at the moment. We need to find a way to stop that. Get the ball back, but too far up the pitch, really. Musa crosses the ball in, and Rolla's there for his trademark goal at the back post. And hopefully, just like in the last game, we can turn this around in the second half. Playing it out from the back again. Massetti finds Zanoli. Benedetti finds Shoes Off. Shoes Off shoots. And that's gone into orbit. But second half, we have looked a lot better so far. A lot better. Right, I'm going to bring on Castellucci for Shoes Off. Can we get the winner in the second half? Ivanovski crosses. And we've dealt with that pretty well. Gioldi now is going to make way for Bro. Ivanovski corner. And we've taken it away. Castellucci now. Passes it around nicely. And his fresh legs get him to the byline. Francesco Rolla heads the ball down, but doesn't quite find the net that time. Right, Burger King can come on for Musa. Rolla now to Zanoli. Back to Rolla. Can he get the cross in? Yes, he can. Castellucci, Benedetti, and we're there. Burger King gets the goal, and I think he's fine in terms of the offside flag because everyone was on the line there. Yeah, he's absolutely fine. And we've turned a second game in a row around from a 1-0 defeat, as it looked like it might have been about to be, to a 2-1 victory, as it hopefully will be now. We still need to be a little careful, though. Shiro around there, and Shiro involved in what was their best chance, I think, of the second half so far. Perizan. Benedetti shoots over the bar. Unnecessary, really, at this stage of the game. Just tell them to time waste a bit, slow the pace down, be more disciplined. 5 minutes to see out here. But Jurgens is through. Oh, God. This This is very similar to the last game. The game that you missed. Basically this, in a nutshell. Bro, Burger King. Castellucci shoots and goes wide for a corner. Just about a minute left. Can we hold on to the ball? No, we give it away. That was a bit silly. Unnecessary, really, at this stage of the game. Burger King does well to close that down. We've got 30 seconds now. We should be okay. And we see that wide, and it should be that. It is. And we have another win at this higher level. Not sure we necessarily deserved that one. Wasn't our best performance, but really, really good to know that we can win when we're not playing well, even in a higher league. And I'm starting to think that this is the kind of league where actually we could get out of this league at the first time of asking, possibly. Not necessarily saying I'm expecting it, but it's certainly not impossible from what I can see at the moment. I'm just going to try and check what happens in terms of the end of the season here. Right, the playoffs only happen if there's a smaller, I mean, this probably will be. 15 points is quite a lot. So basically, it's a playoff between 3rd to 8th, unless the team in 3rd is miles ahead of 4th, which is actually not a stupid way to do it, to be honest, although it's a rather arbitrary figure. I will be back a bit later in the season now. I have to say, I'm really impressed with the way things are going. It's good to know that we've got quite a lot of players at the moment who can come in and make a difference. The fact that Reddy can come in, his first appearance of the season it was against Frosinone, and make a difference in such a dramatic way as he did in that second half against Frosinone, just shows the depth of this team at the moment. And it does show that perhaps that extra couple of seasons in Serie C just stood us in good stead to do pretty well in Serie B quite quickly. We're playing Catanzaro, of course, who came up with us last season. So that's going to be an interesting one, but I'm going to probably give that one a miss. I think the next game we might come back for Spal. They're a very resonant team for me. Dr. Benji, I think, was it Dr. Benji or Jack? One of the two played as Spal years and years and years ago. And I think that would be an interesting game to come back for. So I think we might do Spal and Venezia, because I like Venice. Venice is nice. So Spal and Venezia will be our next game. And hopefully by then we will be, if not safe, then looking like we definitely aren't going to get promoted. I would hope we could get quite a lot of points over these next 5 games. Spezia, Catanzaro, Crotone will be a tough game. But there's at least 3 winnable games there. Catanzaro, Pordenone and Salernitana. And I would hope for at least 1 more point, maybe even 2 or possibly even 3 out of the next one. So, if we're going to be looking for at least 10 points from these 5 games, I think. And if we get that, 10 points from 5 games would leave us on 25 or 12. At that point, you're kind of almost safe, I think. Almost. So that would be very, very good if we could do that. But I'll be back for Spal on the 2nd of November. And hopefully you will join me then. I am really, really pleased with how things are going. I wasn't really expecting it to go quite this well. I didn't think we would massively struggle to get to stay in the league this year. But I really didn't see us challenging for promotion. And at the moment, it looks like we might just be able to do that. So I'll see you tomorrow. And come on, Zaffarana.